Every week, the speculation builds. Is this a coaching misstep, or is there something bigger at play? Meanwhile, veteran quarterback Joe Flacco has been traded mid-season to a division rival, leaving the locker room stunned. Players are whispering, social media is erupting, and the city can't stop talking. Kevin Stefanski, once the calm hand guiding the team, now looks more like a deer in headlights, clutching his playbook, while the entire franchise seems to spin out of control. Every press conference adds fuel to the fire. Questions about Sanders are met with silence or vague answers, and fans are left to piece together the story themselves. At the heart of it all is Jimmy Haslam, the team owner. He's smiling through the chaos, but it's not just about appearances. There's a plan behind the madness, a method to the strategy. Bench Sanders now. Let frustration boil. Let headlines explode. And when the moment comes, the release will be epic. Ratings will soar. Social media will ignite. And Sanders will become the legend the city has been waiting for. It's a high-stakes game of patience, perception, and power. And Haslam is orchestrating it like a master chess player. Fans are torn. Should Sanders be playing? Is Gabriel's struggle a necessary step in development or a disaster in the making? Analysts can't stop debating. Media narratives are exploding, and the Browns season is now as much about spectacle as it is about football. Every decision, every delay, every cautious call is being dissected, and the tension is building toward a breaking point. One thing is clear. Cleveland is holding its breath. The future is here, but it's sitting on the bench waiting. And when Sanders finally takes the field, it won't just be a game. It will be a statement. Inside the Browns locker room, tension is at an all-time high. Players are frustrated. Whispers of dissent echo through the hallways. And even the most loyal fans are starting to question leadership. Myles Garrett, the defensive powerhouse, hasn't held back his criticism, openly questioning play calls and the decision to keep Dillon Gabriel as the starting quarterback. He's not alone. Other players are quietly signaling their unease, unsure whether Stefanski's approach is stubbornness or a calculated long-term strategy. Meanwhile, fans across Cleveland are losing patience. Social media explodes every time a play fails, every time Sanders doesn't see the field. Hashtags trend, comment sections overflow with speculation, and podcasts dissect every sideline gesture. Questions dominate every conversation. Why isn't the team playing its best talent? Is this about development, or is someone playing politics? The suspense is driving viewers and fans wild, almost like a carefully staged reality show. Except it's happening on real turf with real consequences. And then there's Kevin Stefanski, standing on the sidelines like a man caught between two worlds. He clings to his playbook, preaching patience, while everyone around him senses the storm. He's trying to balance loyalty to Dillon Gabriel with the undeniable reality. Sanders could change the course of the season. Every cautious call he makes feels like adding fuel to the fire. Every safe decision heightens the anticipation for Sanders' eventual debut. But the real power move belongs to Jimmy Haslam. He's not just observing the chaos, he's using it. Bench Sanders now. Let frustration peak, let the media frenzy build, and then release him into the spotlight. Ratings soar, fans explode with excitement, and the young quarterback becomes a national sensation overnight. Haslam's strategy is subtle, almost invisible, but its impact is undeniable. Every choice, every delay, every silence is carefully timed to maximize drama, attention, and ultimately, control. Cleveland is caught in the middle of a perfect storm, an epic drama of frustration, speculation, and anticipation. The players feel it, the city feels it, and the league feels it. And one thing is clear. When Sanders finally steps onto the field, it won't just be a game. It will be the moment the Browns redefine their entire narrative. As the Browns season unfolds, the media is going into overdrive. Every press conference, every sideline glance, and every roster move is dissected frame by frame. Analysts question Stefanski's approach, fans speculate wildly on social media, and podcasts endlessly debate Dillon Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders. Every report, rumor, or cryptic comment becomes a headline. Cleveland has turned into the epicenter of football obsession, and Shedeur Sanders is the lightning rod. Jimmy Haslam's plan is clear. Harness the chaos. By keeping Sanders off the field just enough to build suspense, he's creating a frenzy that traditional wins and losses simply cannot achieve. Ratings skyrocket, ticket sales climb, and merchandise disappears off the shelves. Every fan becomes a storyteller, adding their own theories, creating a feedback loop of hype and speculation. The Browns season isn't just about football anymore. It's about narrative control, timing, and spectacle. Meanwhile, Kevin Stefanski is stuck between caution and pressure. Every week without Sanders on the field brings criticism from all sides. Players frustrated with the offensive struggles, fans losing patience, and analysts questioning his judgment. Stefanski clings to the idea of Dillon Gabriel's long-term development. But with each loss, that argument grows thinner. Inside the locker room, the tension is palpable. Veterans like Myles Garrett are vocal, while younger players watch, unsure whom to trust or follow. And then there's Sanders himself. Calm, focused, and mentally prepared, he watches from the sidelines as chaos swirls around him. He knows his moment will come, and when it does, it will be seismic. Every pass, every touchdown, every highlight will be magnified by the weeks of anticipation. Fans are primed for his debut, and the media is ready to explode at the slightest hint of action. Haslam's genius is subtle yet powerful. The timing of every move, the benching, the trade rumors, the cryptic comments, is a carefully orchestrated symphony of suspense. He isn't just building a team, he's creating a cultural phenomenon. Every decision feeds the hype, every headline builds the narrative, and every fan reaction becomes part of the story. Cleveland isn't just watching football this season. They're witnessing a masterclass in strategy, showmanship, and controlled chaos, all centered around one player, Shedeur Sanders. Inside the Browns locker room, the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Players whisper behind closed doors, speculating about what's happening with the quarterback situation. Dillon Gabriel, still in his early starts, is under a microscope. His mistakes aren't just personal, they're magnified into organizational drama. Every interception, every missed throw, every hesitation fuels the growing frustration. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders sits quietly, preparing, watching, and knowing that his opportunity is coming. Veterans like Myles Garrett are becoming increasingly vocal. Frustration is spilling over, and the message is clear. The current strategy isn't working. Garrett openly questions Stefanski's decisions, calling out offensive schemes and personnel choices. It's no longer just about patience or development. It's about performance, accountability, and the growing divide between coaching staff and players. The Browns locker room is evolving into a microcosm of the chaos outside. Conflict, pressure, and high stakes all colliding in real time. The coaching staff is caught in a bind. Stefanski continues to emphasize long-term development and caution, but his authority is being tested daily. Players are watching every move, fans are tweeting outrage, and the media is scrutinizing every press conference. The balance between supporting young talent and demanding immediate results is unraveling. What should be a structured, disciplined environment now feels like a pressure cooker, with every decision scrutinized and second-guessed. Even beyond the field, whispers of organizational disagreements are spreading. The tension between Stefanski and Jimmy Haslam is palpable. while Haslam seems to thrive on the chaos as part of a broader strategy. Stefanski appears constrained by traditional coaching principles, wary of taking risks with the spotlight shining so brightly. The contrast between a risk-averse coach and a bold owner amplifies the drama, leaving the team stuck in a storm of uncertainty. Through all this, Shedeur Sanders remains a focal point. Players, staff, and fans alike are waiting for his moment, a single performance that could reshape perceptions and release the pent-up energy of the entire city. Every sideline glance, every cryptic comment from management, and every close loss adds fuel to the narrative. Cleveland is on edge, the locker room is fracturing, and the story of the season is no longer about football alone. It's about control, patience, and the tension of a city holding its breath for the inevitable rise of its young star. While the locker room simmers with tension, Jimmy Haslam is operating on an entirely different level. To outsiders, the Browns season looks chaotic, unpredictable, even reckless. But behind the scenes, Haslam seems to be orchestrating every twist like a chess grandmaster. Every delay in playing Shedeur Sanders, every decision to bench Dillon Gabriel, every trade rumor, they're not just mistakes or oversights. They're calculated moves designed to maximize attention, engagement, and ultimately, profit. The mid-season trade of Joe Flacco sent shockwaves across the league. A 13-year veteran traded to a division rival mid-season? It's the kind of move that makes casual fans gasp and die-hard followers explode online. On the surface, it looks impulsive, even disruptive. But in Haslam's playbook, it's a strategic stroke. Removing Flacco clears the path for Shedeur's eventual rise while also fueling speculation, social media chaos, and relentless media coverage. Every headline, every hot take, every viral clip is part of a larger narrative designed to turn Cleveland into the center of football obsession. Haslam's vision extends beyond the field. The new stadium project is massive, a public-private deal that requires precision timing and maximum public engagement. Chaos on the field isn't a distraction, it's part of the strategy. Every outrage, every debate, every fan reaction keeps the spotlight on the franchise, increasing ticket sales, merchandise, and the perceived value of the team's star quarterback. Shedeur Sanders isn't just a player, he's a walking PR machine. A symbol of hype, tension, and hope. Meanwhile, Stefanski is trapped between cautious coaching and the narrative whirlwind Haslam has unleashed. Safe plays, conservative decisions, and slow development clash with a franchise being reshaped into a spectacle. The contrast couldn't be starker. One man avoiding risk, the other engineering headlines. Every delay in Shedeur's debut fuels anticipation and fan obsession, turning Cleveland's season into a calculated theater of chaos. By holding back Shedeur just long enough to ignite speculation, Haslam ensures that when the quarterback finally takes the field, the payoff is explosive. Ratings spike, the city erupts, and the NFL landscape shifts. What looks like disorder is actually a meticulously crafted blueprint, blending football, marketing, and drama into a single, unforgettable spectacle. The Browns aren't just playing a game. They're rewriting how a franchise can dominate attention, narrative, and influence, all with one rising star at the center. As Cleveland waits with bated breath, Shedeur Sanders remains the focal point of a storm no one can ignore. He's no longer just a quarterback. He's a narrative magnet, a lightning rod for speculation, debate, and excitement. Every snap he practices, every throw he perfects is dissected across social media, sports networks, and locker rooms alike. Fans are obsessed, analysts are scrambling, and the entire NFL can't stop talking about him. Shedeur's rise is as much about performance as it is about timing, drama, and perception. And Jimmy Haslam seems to understand this better than anyone. The media frenzy around Shedeur is relentless. Headlines speculate about his potential debut. Rumored clashes with Stefanski, and even conspiracy theories suggesting he was benched intentionally to maximize hype. Sports talk shows replay every throw from his college days. Fans flood comment sections with predictions, and the narrative snowballs into a spectacle that dominates Cleveland's daily conversation. This isn't just hype. It's a full-blown cultural event. Every highlight clip, every training session photo fuels the city's obsession and cements Shedeur as the centerpiece of the Browns' 2025 story. Fans, meanwhile, are divided but unified in attention. Some scream for him to start immediately, frustrated by delays and Dillon Gabriel's inconsistent performances. Others are enthralled by the slow build, savoring the suspense as if it's a serialized drama. Every week becomes a new chapter in a story fans can't put down. Shedeur Sanders is both the hero and the catalyst, and Cleveland can't stop watching. The stadium itself becomes a stage, every game a live episode. And social media a constant cliffhanger. Even within the team, the anticipation is palpable. Players are aware that Shedeur's debut isn't just about football. It's about proving themselves in a landscape dominated by spectacle. Stefanski faces pressure not only from management, but from a fan base that is now emotionally invested in a single player. Every decision, every play call is scrutinized under this intense spotlight, turning coaching into a high-stakes performance art. Shedeur Sanders' story isn't just unfolding, it's exploding. Ratings, engagement, merchandise, and fan loyalty all hinge on him. In a city desperate for hope and a franchise desperate for attention, Shedeur has become the embodiment of possibility. Cleveland isn't merely watching football. They're witnessing a phenomenon. And as the tension reaches its peak, everyone knows that when Shedeur finally steps on the field, history will be made. One precision throw, one highlight reel moment, one epic play at a time. Inside the Browns locker room, the atmosphere is electric yet tense. Every player knows Shedeur Sanders is the center of the storm, and every decision made by Kevin Stefanski feels like it could tip the balance. Stefanski clings to his playbook like a lifeline, preaching caution and safe plays, but the players sense something bigger is brewing. There's a quiet understanding that when Shedeur finally takes the field, it won't just be a game, it will be a turning point. Dillon Gabriel, currently the starting quarterback, faces the impossible task of holding a team together, while fans and analysts openly question his role. Some players whisper about his limitations. Others wonder if Stefanski is simply afraid to ignite the inevitable chaos Shedeur represents. The divide between safe strategy and explosive talent grows wider each week, and the locker room hums with anticipation, frustration, and a subtle excitement that only a star of Shedeur's magnitude can generate. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco's departure still lingers in the air. Trading a seasoned veteran mid-season sent shockwaves through the team and left Stefanski under the microscope. His reluctance to fully embrace Shedeur Sanders is viewed by some as hesitation, by others as a masterstroke in slow-building drama. 1. All because of "It's so wonderful to watch" in their first game. All because of and then they will set the door and they will finally deal with battle-tested promises. Either way, it adds another layer of tension that the Browns locker room must navigate carefully. Coaches, players, and staff are all playing their roles in a story that feels part strategy, part theater. The players themselves can't ignore the narrative shaping around them. Shedeur's quiet, focused demeanor contrasts sharply with the chaos surrounding him. He studies defenses, perfects his timing, and waits for the precise moment to explode onto the field. The team watches, aware that one throw, one decisive play could change the trajectory of the entire season. Every practice becomes a rehearsal. Every sideline glance, a glimpse into what's coming. The Browns organization sits on a knife's edge. Stefanski's cautious approach may slow the pace, but the momentum Shedeur generates off the field through media attention, fan excitement, and social buzz keeps pressure mounting. The tension is unavoidable, and everyone knows it. When the moment finally arrives for Shedeur Sanders to lead, it won't just be about touchdowns or stats. It will be about proving who the Browns are, who they can become, and how a city starved for hope can rally around a single undeniable talent. Cleveland is ready. The league is watching, and Shedeur Sanders is poised to turn tension into triumph. As the Browns drama unfolds, Cleveland becomes the epicenter of NFL chaos. Fans are glued to every headline, tweet, and press conference, dissecting Kevin Stefanski's cautious play calls and wondering when Shedeur Sanders will finally take the reins. Social media is ablaze with speculation, memes, and debates circulating faster than any game highlight. Every sideline glance, every benching decision, and every subtle nod is analyzed as part of a larger narrative. The Browns aren't just playing football anymore. They've become a national talking point. Jimmy Haslam watches it all with a knowing grin. He's not simply an owner. He's the architect of this controlled chaos. Bench Shedeur just long enough to let the outrage build, let the speculation spiral, then unleash him under maximum attention. Every move feeds into the larger plan, boosting ticket sales, driving merchandise, and creating a story that turns casual observers into die-hard fans. The timing is deliberate. Mid-season, with injuries mounting and playoff chatter heating up, the perfect storm is forming, and Haslam is at the center, orchestrating it with precision. Meanwhile, the media plays its part. Analysts scramble to rationalize Stefanski's decisions, trying to determine whether the caution is wisdom or fear. Reporters cover every practice, every press conference, every sideline reaction, turning even routine moments into high-stakes drama. Ratings spike as viewers tune in, hoping to catch a glimpse of the moment Shedeur finally takes control. The Browns, intentionally or not, have transformed into must-watch television, and the world can't look away. Even within the team, the tension is palpable. Players whisper about the inevitable, feeling the weight of expectation, but also the thrill of being part of something monumental. Shedeur Gabriel continues to start, but the locker room knows the story is bigger than him. Stefanski's old-school cautiousness contrasts with Shedeur's explosive talent, creating a dynamic that elevates every snap, every sideline gesture, and every strategic pause into narrative gold. In the eye of the storm sits Shedeur Sanders, calm, focused, and ready. Every delayed opportunity builds suspense, and when the time finally comes, the eruption won't just be a game-winning play. It will be a cultural event. Cleveland isn't just witnessing football. It's experiencing a spectacle. Haslam's masterstroke has transformed a team, a city, and an entire league into a storyline that will be talked about for years. Chaos, strategy, and genius collide, all revolving around one quarterback who's become the face of an NFL revolution.